Hey guys, so for today's video, I wanted to test out something that I saw on Instagram. I saw someone do a chrome design, but then it also glowed in the dark, and I wanted to see how well that would work because I don't know exactly what they used in the video. It was in another language, so I couldn't read it. I didn't know what they were using or anything. But the way they did it, it looked like it was some sort of like 3D glow in the dark product or something, or maybe they just took like a rhinestone glue or like an embossing gel or something and mixed glow in the dark powder into it. I don't know. But like I said, I wanted to try it, and I'm not going to do it 3D. It's all just going to be like, 2D or like flat. But I wanted to see how well it would work. So to start off, I'm just taking the black from Ball Pit and I'm painting all of the nails with this, and I do 2 coats of this, and I cure each coat for 60 seconds. So after I got them all cured, I'm just going in and wiping them off with some alcohol to remove the sticky layer, because I've mentioned this before. Whenever doing isolated chrome designs, the matte top coat and buffing it out trick has never really worked for me. Um, it still just sticks a lot, And like I said before, I don't know if it's because of the matte top coat that I'm using and it still does just like allow it to stick, or if I'm just not buffing enough. But what has been working for me is just painting on my base layer and then wiping the sticky layer off, and then the chrome doesn't stick to the base. Sometimes if I don't wipe it off good enough, there are a couple spots where the chrome may stick, but it's not as bad as whenever I try to do the matte top coat and buffing trick. So since I am doing chrome, I'm using the Varnail 2-in-1 chrome top coat for this, and I just put a few like globs of it onto my palette because I'm going to be mixing in these glow powders into it. And I decided to use the invisible glow powders that I have, so they look clear when they get mixed into a clear, or like if you mix them into a colored polish, they don't change the color of that polish, so you can't see it, because I didn't really want it to change the look of the chrome. I'm just going to be using some hollow chrome, and I didn't want any of the like glow powder. If I were to use like a pigmented glow powder, I didn't want any of the color from that to potentially show through the chrome powder. So I'm using, I think it's invisible violet, invisible indigo, invisible, I don't know, and invisible green. I know for sure there's invisible green. It's the one on the very right side of the palette, and I only remember that one because it had a different texture. Like the glow powder had a different texture than the other ones. It was more grainy, whereas the other ones were more powdery. But anyhow, I just pulled those out and then just mixed them in, and I wasn't paying attention to where I was putting each color. But like I said, I did know the one was invisible green because when I dumped it out and realized it was a different texture, I did look to see which one that was, and it was the invisible green one. So not that that really matters that it has a different texture. Like, it all still applied the same. It was still super smooth once I mixed it all in. I just thought it was interesting that the others were more powdery and that one was a little more grainy. I think the best way that I could explain it was like the other ones were like baby powder almost, and that one was kind of more like a sandy texture, if that makes any sense. But anyhow, like I said, wasn't paying attention to which one I was mixing into what. So when I was doing this, I had no idea what colors I was painting on here, because as you can see, they go on clear because they're mixed in with a clear top coat. If I would have mixed them in with, like I said, a colored gel polish, I still wouldn't have known like what powder was in it, unless I like specifically matched the powder to the gel polish. Just because, like I said, they are invisible, they do show up clear, or they don't change the color of the colored gel that you're mixing it into. Or even if you're mixing it into clear, it doesn't change the color of it. But anyhow, after I got that all mixed it up, I did just go in and start doing the designs. I'm using a 9mm liner brush to do all these designs, and I wasn't really doing any sort of particular design. I also wasn't trying to be like super precise with the design either, because I was just testing this and seeing if this actually would work. Before I actually took the time to do some sort of super intricate design. I didn't want to waste like a whole bunch of time and product on trying to do an intricate design and then it just ends up not working. So I did pretty simple basic designs. I did a French tip on, I think, the pinky and the thumbnail. And then I did stars on 2 of the nails and then a swirl on the middle nail. But after I got the design painted on, I went ahead and cured for 30 seconds. And then I rubbed on the chrome powder. And like I said, I'm just using a hollow chrome powder. I thought it would look really cool with the black base. And this is my favorite hollow chrome powder. This is what I used in my last video, the hollow space jelly alien nail set. It is, I got it off of oh my gosh, I can't talk. I got it off of Amazon. It's the brand GAN, and this is the absolute best hollow chrome powder that I have tried. It's a super, like, in your face kind of hollow. It's not super subtle or anything. Like, you can definitely tell it's a hollow chrome powder in any lighting that you are in, but it definitely, like, is way more brighter if you have it under flash or in the sunlight or whatever. But yeah, so like I said, I just go in, do the design, cure that for 30 seconds, and then rub the chrome powder on, and then I do brush off the excess chrome powder with a fan brush. And if there is any chrome powder that is sticking onto the black polish where I don't want it to stick, I do take a cleanup brush and some alcohol and just scrub it off a little bit. Again, I didn't try too hard to scrub anything off or to make sure anything was super perfect, because I was just testing this out. This is how things usually go whenever I'm testing something out. I don't try to make it too perfect. I just kind of slap it on, see if it works, and then if it works, I will go in and do the more intricate design, or like actually take my time to make it look good. And that's usually the video that you guys will see, but I thought it'd be cool to test this out here and show you guys kind of how I test out certain things, whether it be like I see it on the internet or if I just come up with an idea on my own. Depending on what I'm doing, I will test it out first before attempting to do like an actual set with it. Sometimes I don't test it out and I just go for it and just do it and hope for the best. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna go ahead, let this play out for a bit, and then I will come back whenever I need to come back. Actually, real quick, I do just want to mention that after applying the chrome, because I am only partially curing this top coat, I do stick the nails back into the lamp to cure for a full 60 seconds to make sure that that gel is completely cured, because as we all know by now, uncured gel does lead to acrylate allergies, and if you develop an acrylate allergy, then you potentially will no longer be able to do your nails. You will potentially not be able to get certain dental procedures, certain surgeries, and medical procedures, because they also use acrylates. They tend to use HEMA, and HEMA is the acrylate that most people are allergic to, just because that is the most common acrylate in nail products. Acrylic dip, which is just acrylic anyhow, you just apply it a little bit differently, and gels, polygels, builder gels, gel polishes, all that. HEMA is the most common acrylate, like I said. And even though something may say it is HEMA free, that doesn't mean it's safe to just do whatever to get it all over your skin and to not cure properly, because there are still other acrylates in those products that are HEMA free that you can still develop allergies to. So even though something does say HEMA free, it doesn't mean it is totally safe. So you still do have to follow proper procedures and safety protocols when using any and all of these products, whether it says it's HEMA free, it whatever other free things they say, TPO free, 21 free, I don't know what else free all of these brands are saying now. No matter what, you still have to make sure you're not getting it on your skin, you're not touching things with your bare hands, and if you do happen to get it on your skin, immediately wipe it off, wash your hands to remove it as quickly as possible. That way you can lessen your chances of developing these allergies, making sure that your cuticles, or like, it's not flooding off and flooding, your cuticles and everything before curing, making sure everything is nice and clean and all of that. So just make sure if you are using anything that does only get partially cured before applying the chrome, make sure you do stick it back into the lamp and fully cure it to make sure that it is fully cured, so we're not developing these allergies and not being able to do our nails, not being able to get important medical procedures or important dental procedures, because an acrylate allergy does affect you for life, and it does affect you outside of only doing nails. So now that that is done, I'm just taking my top coat from LGN and applying that to all of the nails, and then I do cure that for 60 seconds. Halfway through top coating these, I realized I was using my LGN top coat, which I don't usually use whenever I'm doing chrome, because I don't want any of the little chrome particles to get into this top coat, but it was already too late for that. I don't think there was any chrome in it, because when I looked at the brush, I didn't see any little sparkly bits on it, so I think I did pretty good wiping all the excess off. But yeah, I definitely recommend using a separate top coat from the top coat you usually use if you're doing chrome. Otherwise, you could potentially contaminate your top coat, and then you're going to have a glittery top coat after that. And this is the finished result. Like I said earlier, this wasn't like a real set. I was just kind of messing around, doing some simple basic designs to see if this even works. So like the whole set together, like, I don't know, it's not the greatest when it comes to nail art, but it's also not like the worst I've done either. Like I said, this was just a test to see if the glow-in-the-dark chrome combination actually worked, and it did. I know it's a little hard to see here because my room lights were on and you couldn't really fully see the chrome or the glow-in-the-dark. You can see it kind of here, but not like fully. I do have a clip here coming up soon where I am in the dark. One thing I will say that I noticed was that This glow in the dark powder usually glows super bright for a really long time, like pretty much the entire time you're in the dark. Whereas with this set, I noticed that it wasn't glowing for long. Like the glow was fading fairly quickly after charging it up, which was, like I said, strange for this glow powder. Usually just glows super bright the entire time. So I don't really know why. I don't know if I just didn't mix enough glow powder into the gel, or if I didn't do a thick enough layer, or maybe the chrome powder doesn't allow for the glow powder to absorb all the light to allow it to glow for a super long time. There's several different reasons why this could be happening, but I am super excited that this works, and I'm going to be able to use this for future sets. Potentially, maybe for one of my Halloween sets this year, I will do something with this. I don't know, we'll have to see. But that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching.